chief of army staff, his chances of becoming chief of army staff were dashed forever. So he went, gave him a cup of coffee. That we saw on the television, that he gave him a cup of coffee, and he is reported to have quietly told him, just say no and have your coffee. So he kept saying no. So finally he was backed off, sent back to his house. His car was impounded, he had to go in another vehicle. And so what happens is that at that time, by chance, the leadership of the lawyers at the Supreme Court and the High Court level came from a progressive background. Now, Munir Malik was the president of the Supreme Court Bar Association, and he had a fight with Justice Chaudhry because he was fiddling with the roster of the Supreme Court according to his own thing, and Munir Malik had a tiff with him in the court, saying you cannot do this, there are rules, and you are violating the rules. So he was actually planning to do something, agitation against Iftikhar Chaudhry. And certainly Iftikhar Chaudhry is thrown out by Musharraf. Now Munir Malik was sort of intuitively anti-military for the past 30 years. So he said, we will deal with them later, but now is our chance to challenge the military dictatorship. So if you look at which was the Bar Association which really participated, apart from the Supreme Court Bar Association, there were two Bar Associations which were the center. One was the Sindh High Court Bar Association, where Mr. Rashid Rizvi was the president. And Rashid Rizvi was the judge of the Sindh High Court. He would have become the Chief Justice if he had not been shunted out by Musharraf. Because Musharraf brought in his own PCO, and there was a list of judges who were not asked to come and take oath. Basically, they were dismissed. And Rashid Rizvi had a long background of left politics. We were together in the students' movement. He had spent a few years in jail as a political activist. He is now the president of our organization, Pilot. So he was the other person who had fought against military since Ayub Khan's time. Then you had the Balochistan High Court Bar, where we had one person who is a fiery speaker, Ali Ahmed Kurd. We were together in the same party, so he also comes from a left background. And in Peshawar High Court, there was Mr. Latif Afridi, who was an old communist, again has been in jail under Ziaul-Haq, under every dictatorship. So you find this coincidence. And at that time, the Lahore High Court Bar, which is the largest, was the least involved in the beginning. So why I call it, it's some lawyers movement. So you have a coincidence where the leadership was in the hands of progressive people. And one good thing about the bar associations in Pakistan is that they have, under all circumstances, maintained the democratic process. So it doesn't matter who gets elected, the bar then goes along with the elected people. So that there was that advantage. So that is why this movement became a movement. Not for the lawyers' leaders, this was a movement to discredit the military. It was not that much a movement for restoration of Iftikhar Muhammad Chaudhry. It was more to create that kind of a situation where, one, the fear of the military was eroded and the military rule was discredited by patently seen as anti-democratic, violative of the constitution. Now a chief of army staff then comes and he imposes emergency for which he doesn't have any right. He doesn't have a right to impose martial law also, but then that is an extra constitutional step that the chief of army staff can take by the backing of force. But emergency can only be imposed by the president, and he doesn't want to do it in that name because he is still considering to contest the election. So this is the background in which this whole movement developed, and I will slightly disagree with Asad on the level of participation of the ordinary people. You know, we had a convention in Islamabad, a labor convention, where we had some 80 trade union representatives from all over Pakistan and I put it to that convention that we should pass a resolution to support the restoration of the judges, and we should go and visit the Chief Justice. There was not a single person apart from one man who belonged to the MQM, and the MQM was openly supporting Musharraf against the Chief Justice. They quietly came and they said, look, our party will not allow us, we will be beaten up, so please leave us behind. We agree with you, but we will not go. So everybody went and we barged into the Chief Justice's house. We told the police we will not go back without meeting with him. And we spent about 2 hours and we got a sort of a glimpse of this man's mind. So he came out like a very conservative person. And when we came back, we discussed it and he said, God save us if he is restored, but we still have to ask for his restoration. So this movement, to me, it is a very important movement, because if you remember, there was a movement in '83 which was known as the Movement for Restoration of Democracy. Most political parties joined hands, but in the end, the People's Party was left alone in the province of Sindh to fight for democracy. Everybody else left it. But at that time, some people raised the question, how can we launch a movement for restoration of democracy when we never have had democracy? So it should not be called for restoration of democracy, it should be for establishing democracy. Similarly, we need a movement which of course has to come from the lawyers groups or whatever, for the independence of judiciary from the lowest level to the top. Because in the past 5 years or so, no workers have got justice at any level of the judiciary in Pakistan, starting from the labor court. He had this judicial, what is this called, which forms judicial policy?
National Judicial Policy Making
Committee. That committee in the past 5 years has never mentioned the word labor in its deliberation. Not once. And I happened to meet with Mr. Chaudhary like a year ago in a wedding, and I went up to him. He was very warm, embraced me and thanked me. And then I said, sir, sometimes people ask, do you know workers also live in this country? We have not seen a single reference in any of your pronouncements about labor. So he was a bit taken aback. So he said, okay, you bring a petition and we will see what can be done. I said, sorry, we will not bring a petition to you. You wake up in the morning and you use suo moto against something. You go to sleep in the night, you do that before you go to sleep. Do one thing for labor. He has not done it. So it is not that we have achieved independence of judiciary. It is not that we have overhauled our judicial system. The only thing that I feel we have achieved is that we have lost this pervasive fear of the military. During the lawyers' movement, there were cases where the soldiers were attacked by people and then they were directed not to go into the cities in uniform. They were told to go in civilian clothes. And everywhere, it was for these leaders, that was the main aim. So they undermined the military, and that is one reason why the military, unless something drastic happens, the military will not be able to take over in Pakistan in the foreseeable future. And that, I think, is a great achievement. This man, Kayani, is not a saint. He could have, would have wanted to impose martial law 10 times by now. But he knew people will resist, people will not accept it. People had got that consciousness. Of course, the lawyers will have to come out against any martial law. Judiciary has already passed a judgment which forecloses any ratification by any judge of any extra constitutional act by the military. No, so those are some really important achievements of the people, and we should really build on that. But we still have to develop a movement for an independent judiciary which is just itself. I mean, most of the judges are unjust themselves. Many of them don't even know that their main task is dispensation of justice. I asked this question to some of my friends who are judges of the High Court, said, what is your mandate? Is justice is only written in your name, or do you also have to do something? And many of them thought, not really. So, and especially when it comes to the poor people. So I think you are right, but there is a very concrete achievement, which is the achievement of the people. This